the Democratic voting coalition that results in really close elections in the state is compact geographically, and the Republican voting coalition, which results in about Republicans generally getting about half the vote in statewide elections, is dispersed geographically. And so when you have a whole county provision in your Constitution, and you have the difference in terms of the dispersal of the voters, it favors the party that whose voters are more efficiently dispersed. In the state Senate, number one, the districts are larger, so the inefficient distribution of Democratic voters doesn't hurt Democrats as much in the state Senate as it does where you have smaller districts like in the state House. So they're not as disadvantaged by the inefficient domicile decisions Democratic voters tend to make. And what it looked like to us, and we don't have any inside knowledge of how the districts will be drawn, and there's still decisions to be made, but it looked to us like Republicans have a baseline of somewhere in the mid 20 seat range, somewhere between 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, somewhere in there. And the Democrats would have somewhere between 18 and 20 pretty solid seats, and that you'd have 8 to 10 toss-up seats out there. And that's kind of the situation the parties have been in for the last decade. And in the state House, again, the smaller size of the districts, there are about 85,000 people in a House district, a perfect House district, and about 200,000 people in a perfect Senate district in North Carolina, maybe 205,000. The smaller size of a House district means that inefficient geographic dispersal, or the efficient geographic dispersal of Republican voters, advantages the House more than it does the Senate. It looked to me like the Republicans probably had a solid 60 to 62-3 seats that would be real hard for the Democrats to win, and that's enough to get a majority in and of itself. And then another 15 to 20 potentially competitive seats, and leaving the Democrats with something in the order of 40, somewhere around 40 solid seats. So I think if I was if I was to rank the probability of one of the chambers flipping from Republicans to Democrats just based on what we've seen in the optimal county grouping map, I'd say the Democrats had a marginally better chance of winning the state Senate than they do the state House.